one of the things I always say is you cannot, for instance, if maybe I'm involved in some sort of like canvassing and I'm trying to get people to come out to register to vote, and then keeping in mind, even though I have the willingness and I'm ready, ready to walk those miles, I'm ready to do whatever it takes. If I don't have a car, I'm ready to take the bus, whatever it takes. But then back home, I don't have food to eat. So you see, if you give me that incentive, at least I'm able to use that money to buy like something that I will need for my own personal use that will continue fueling that motivation for me to keep getting involved. So just, this is like a call to action for people who want to involve young people. Think about incentives. And I'm not saying give them like a big fat check. No, no, no. Just give them enough for them to be able to, because that's also one way for them to be able to grow in resilience, which also I'm against the word resilience, but for the purpose of this, we'll use resilience. And then it also gives them like a way to be able to see that, someone actually cares about what I'm passionate about. The other thing I would say is when it comes to like passing on the baton, maybe flip the coin a bit. Because you see, a lot of young people now, if they don't know what it entails, for instance, to be a senator, they don't see the value in even wanting to vie. So maybe flip the coin. If you're a senator and you're representing, let's say, X communities, go even to schools. Like go to schools just because I know schools have like days where there's days for like different activities, and so use those spaces where just make a visit to the school, have random conversations with kids, ask them, do you know what it means to be a senator? Because you see a lot of people doing that now on social media, like reading books to kids. And so those are some of the ways that you start engaging people from a tender age. And I say tender age because in order for someone to see their role, it has to start from somewhere. And so if you start from, let's say, middle school even, or even lower than that, depending on, how the level of intake and information a kid is able to take in. But they're also, so the only way that we will be able to, ensure like the wiser generation are able to pass on that baton is if they do that, don't just wait for constituents to come to you. You go to them, and don't go to them in just specific spaces. Like expand your horizon, go to schools, go to the market. Go to even, some of these fun activities that young people organize in the communities. Go to those, go to cookouts, because that's the place where you'll be able to meet, the young people who actually want to be you. But because they don't know what you do, they don't want to be you. So thinking about all of those things, I think would make a huge difference in a young person's life. And then we would now continue to see like more upcoming, politicians, young people stepping into the shoes of the wiser generation.
Yeah. No, I mean, I love and appreciate that also, just we're talking about what young folk can do and the opportunities available. And in the same breath, we should absolutely be saying, elected officials, you all need to be doing a better job of showing up in communities, doing town halls, going to schools, talking to folk. I mean, the other point you made about, incentives and the fact that people are facing really just real life constraints and barriers. We are in the process where we don't have a state budget. And so I think, we're talking about democracy issues in particular. But to your point, if our schools are underfunded, if our teachers don't have what they need, if we don't have access to clean water because we don't have the money for the infrastructure, then, those all, if we don't have good public transportation so people can get to the polling places, these are all factors that play into people's ability to participate. And so maybe I'm curious what you all might leave folk with in terms of how do you take that energy and direct it into action, or how do you pull in your folk, your community, to be more engaged and to be and also, like, how do you do it in a way that feels good, that is sustainable, that feel that feels right? Like, hey,